I'm Dennis K. McKay, and welcome to this video series I call SurveyorThink. This episode addresses the role augmented reality will have in display. I'm Dennis K. McKay, and welcome to this video series I call SurveyorThink. This episode addresses the role augmented reality will have in displaying parcel boundaries and the effect that has on the surveying profession. There's a prevalence of GIS parcel maps available in this country, and it is only a matter of time before it is commonplace to use AR to superimpose parcel boundaries onto the observed world. This will be like living in a 3D true scale map. We are accustomed to seeing parcel boundaries drawn as lines on a 2D plat or map. And while AR can provide a symbol of parcel lines, it can also be programmed to extrude these lines upward to view these property boundaries in their true essence as imaginary walls. This is what AR can finally bring to us, projecting these planes or curved surfaces onto normal vision. This will be great, especially for showing normal folks where their boundaries are and their setback lines and their utility easements. The only problem comes when the GIS coordinates are wrong. This is where the surveying profession is needed, because many times these coordinates differences are significant. Imagine some landowner with AR glasses, might look like this, putting them on and turning on the parcel boundaries and walking out the driveway, walking through the wall that is the road right of way, but looking at their side lot lines and seeing that parcel wall between the properties going through their neighbor's garage. Now, the property line may be going through their neighbor's garage, but it's much more likely that the GIS parcel coordinates were wrong. Now, AR can be used to communicate the GIS coordinate uncertainty, thereby preventing the landowner from arriving at false conclusions. Now, if the GIS were designed properly, valid air ellipse dimensions would accompany each corner point coordinate in the geodatabase. And for our example, say the area ellipse dimensions were about 10 feet by 10 feet, based on a 95% chance that if the true coordinate were ever known, it would fall within that ellipse. In AR, we would now be positioned to clearly communicate the data in a truthful way through animated symbology. So how to do this? Each AR parcel wall panel could be made to shift around based on the ellipses of its endpoints to indicate the possible locations. This reflects the uncertainty in the source data, but the shifting can also be caused by limitations within the current AR device. So to differentiate between these two symbol inaccuracies, I'm suggesting that the GIS, the parcel wall symbol, could be animated to appear as a gauzy curtain, or the northern lights, or a fisherman's net waving in the breeze, or a grid of neon strings to indicate the uncertainty of the source data. In our example, the wall could be bent to extend beyond the 10 feet, 5% of the time, but mostly be shown near the published GIS location. The animation, however irritating, may briefly place the parcel wall at the property fence instead of the garage, so it would be intuitive to the landowner that the symbol through the garage may be a fiction. Here's where an animated AR symbology can be used to prevent problems from misrepresenting GIS data, and is in cases where there's more coordinate certainty to highlight actual problems of encroachment. Without trustable estimates of coordinate uncertainty, these AR parcel walls can only default to appearing static, which does no one any favors. This is typical of county GIS parcel data sets. Yet for over 3 decades, the Bureau of Land Management Cadastral Survey has been generating and openly sharing digital parcel data of the PLSS and other federal boundaries. It is now available from the cadastral theme of the FGDC National Spatial Data Infrastructure, CAD-NSDI, including area ellipse data for each point, which is a requirement of the CAD-NSDI standard. BLM also shares the raw survey measurement data and subdivision instructions used to create the parcel points and polygons. The communication to the lay user of expected data untrustability will drive the need for real surveying jobs, including both field work and for infrastructure database maintenance. In fact, funding has already been diverted to surveying activities when decision makers become convinced that there was not enough solid evidence to make certain kinds of land management decisions. The use of animated AR symbology will just make the amount of uncertainty more intuitive to everybody. No usable animation of these parcel walls is possible without creating valid error estimates from network geometric analysis of raw surveying measurements. And these measurements must first be collected into and available from standardized geodatabases. While official survey measurement databases will be of little use to the non-surveyors, the survey measurement databases will be of immense use to future surveyors. This measurement data would be downloaded freely from the internet and can be visualized through augmented reality and other ways to support many surveying decisions. When a future job is surveyed, the wavy AR parcel line will animate with much less motion, maybe undetectable. You can extrude the parcel lines up to a useful height, then to a degree of translucency, to ascertain any encroachments or other land use problems to report to the client, even providing the client with comparison of the before and after parcel walls. Furthermore, if you have a 3D scan of the parcel, the client could view your work remotely with a virtual reality headset. Okay, this episode focuses briefly and incompletely on ways surveyors can benefit with the upcoming presence of AR devices. Having parcel geometries available to AR devices will be a boon to lay users, especially if the positional uncertainty is expressed in intuitive visualizations using animated symbology. The positional uncertainty expressed through animated AR symbology can accelerate the need for employment of surveyors, and AR in general will streamline the actual surveying process. That's it for this episode. I encourage you to watch all the episodes in the SurveyorThink series because each addresses a piece of the approach that will help surveyors meet its traditional and future challenges. Thank you for watching.